from Welland.
Thank you, Speaker. We're joined in the members' gallery today by the Ontario Network of Injured Workers and a number of injured workers in this province. Speaker, for many years, the Ontario workers' compensation system has failed workers who find themselves injured on the job. As it stands today, if you're a worker in this province who gets hurt while at work, unable to continue doing that job and reliant on benefits from compensation to meet your needs or your family's needs, WSIB has a policy.
I suspect it's the Minister of Labour, but I need to hear it. Suspect it's the Premier.
WSIB relies on a policy called Deeming. That is, pretending that a worker actually has a job that you don't actually have to cut your benefit payments. For a government that claims to be so in tune with fairness and so in tune with workers in this province, it has led workers into deeper and deeper poverty. When will the government put an end to deeming, fix the failed WSIB policies?
Minister of Labour.
Minister of Labour.
Thank you, Speaker, and thank you to the honourable member for that question. Speaker, the number one priority of the Minister of Labour, the person that occupies that seat, and the Ministry of Labour as an organisation is to ensure that people that go to work in the morning come home safe and sound at the end of the day to their families. Speaker, Ontario remains one of the safest places in the world to work. Unfortunately, Speaker, we're not at zero yet. Accidents do happen, fatalities do happen, Speaker, and when they happen, the injured workers deserve the respect and the dignity of a good WSIB system that allows them either to return to work quickly, or if that isn't possible, Speaker, allows them to live a life of respect and dignity with the earnings that should go along with that, Speaker. So we've done a number of things to change that over the past few years. The worker is right. I think if you go back in years, the system often didn't work. I hope to address some of the things we have done in the supplementary, Speaker.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Back to the Minister of Labour then. We need to ensure that workers injured on the job receive the protections and the benefits they deserve. We have Jenny Zhao with us here today. She spent every day for 5 years on a knitting machine in a factory here in Toronto. After 5 years, she was sent home with a long list of repetitive strain injuries, back, severe carpal tunnel. She had surgery, and she could not return to work even though her injuries were confirmed by doctors. But WSIB was able to cut her benefits, deeming that she could be a Walmart greeter, a phantom job that she could never get, nor did she ever have. Right. Jenny went into severe depression. She was unable to get treatment. She suffered from insomnia, and she had to sell her house. She now lives in a basement just to make ends meet, and she had to apply for CPP. Speaker, I ask this government again, when is the Premier going to fix our broken system of compensation and make sure that injured workers are given the benefits and the protections that they need?
Thank you. Minister.
Speaker, thank you again to the member for the supplementary. And as I said, a priority of this government is treating people that have been injured on the job with the dignity and the respect that they deserve, Speaker. And we're prepared to make those changes. When the case is made that something should be changed, Speaker, for example, we brought in full indexation for both fully disabled workers by this January. Full CPI coverage that injured workers deserve. New amendments we brought forward in this year's budget to the Workplace Safety Insurance Act to end benefit clawback, Speaker, due to the eligibility for old age security benefits for those injured. And, Speaker, you'd wonder what those two things had to do with each other, Speaker. There are improvements to the Act. There are improvements to the way that things that have been done. There are improvements that have been made to the lot of injured workers in this province, Speaker, and they're both things that that party voted against, Speaker. Now they're standing in the House and telling us about improvements that could be made, Speaker. When the case is made, and the case was made in 2007, the concept of